Unit testing. So guys, maybe you try to write this unit test case a little bit more. Please try to practice it more. Unit testing is a process of testing individual components of code. So I told you very clearly, as a developer, sir, a developer, yeah, at least should we know, as a first 1 year fresher developer, should we know to perform a code operations, perform insertion, updation, and deletion, retrieval operation. At least we should know that. And after that, performing validations, and handling exception. So different ways you can try to handle, sir. Don't worry. Now you know that how to handle the exceptions. Yes, according to situation, you can try to go for to handle, sir. Handling the exceptions. What about next one? Then you can try to perform unit testing. Unit testing. What about next one? To perform and next even you should know at least minimum security, guys. Got it? So these are the operations at least you should be know, guys. Minimum security, forget about at least minimum these things you should be know to perform even how to write the loggers, logging loggers. So anyway, now we are focusing unit testing. This is a 10 minutes work, so this is not a big issue. Unit testing first we'll focus. After that we'll try to focus security. Then after that I'll try to focus a little bit on different things. Yeah. So I hope understand. Now, unit testing. Unit testing, unit testing is a process. Unit testing is a process of testing components, individual components of our code. What do you mean by unit testing? Unit testing is a process of testing individual components of code. To perform unit testing, we will use a JUnit framework. To perform unit testing, we will use JUnit framework. One more time. Unit testing is a process of testing individual components of our code. To perform unit testing, we will use JUnit framework. As part of unit testing, we will use a mocking. What is mean by mocking? So to perform unit testing, we will use JUnit framework. So as part of unit testing, we can use mocking. What is the mocking? First of all, right? The process of substitute or a substitute object for a real object is called as mocking, right? There are several mock frameworks available like EasyMock, PowerMock, Mockito. There are several mock frameworks available frameworks available like Easy, Mock, next Power, Mock, Mockito. I'll show you some now. What do they use? I'll tell you. As part of unit testing, we need to perform code coverage also, guys. Code coverage. That is called JOCO. So generate a code coverage report. We are going to use JACO, JUnit mocking and JACO. So what now? Let's set a focus, guys. What it mean by unit testing? The process of testing individual components of our application is called as unit testing. What is the unit testing, guys? The process of testing individual components. The process of testing individual components of our application is called as unit testing. One more time. What do you mean by unit testing, guys? Please. The process of testing individual components of our application is called as unit testing. Next, the process of testing unique amount of work is called as unit testing. Are you understand now what is meant by unit testing? Sir, you have an application. you want to test every component effective manner. That's called as unit testing. Component, it means that nothing is there, sir, like functionality. For example, sir, you're trying to perform find by username and password, madam. You're fine. If I assume that I want to perform, I want to test with both valid and invalid credentials to understand method behavior in both situations. And then once you write an application, I want to perform the valid, is the valid or not invalid. And for this, assume that I have one method name is called find by username and password. Passing username and password, we'll try to check is the valid username and password a valid username or not invalid username, like this. That's called, generally we can try to call this is called functionality. So I can say the process of testing unit amount of the work is called as unit testing. The process of testing testing unit amount of the work is called as unit testing. Shiva, can you show the example, Shiva? If you're speaking, that's fine. Okay. So for example, public boolean find by name and password. String name, string password, like this. Logic to execute a query. Got it? So now if just pseudocode, guys, don't think that this is a perfect code. It's just pseudocode. It exists. Then you can try to say return true, right? For else, return false. Assume like this. So now how to test, guys? This one is working or not, true or false. Then you can send like find by username and password. Then you can try to pass Shiva. Then you can try to use Shiva at the rate of 1, 2, 3. So can I try to say this valid input? Valid inputs, guys, please. Yes. So can I try to say that invalid inputs are right? What are the invalid inputs? Maybe Shiva at the rate of IT. That. So it's the invalid input. So now maybe I can say this is a valid input. Then maybe I can try to send you the null. So is the invalid input or not? Null. So this is the way we have to test, guys, your application. Every component had to be right at test cases. This is called as unit testing. Are you clear, everyone, please? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. So what is the advantage of it? Sir, I'll send you the notes, sir. Please, I'll send you the notes after session. And sorry, what is the advantage of unit testing? Sir, guys, we can identify method behavior is positive or and negative scenarios. What is the advantage of unit testing? We can identify method behavior in positive and negative scenario. Bugs will be identified at development stage only. We can provide bug-free quality code for higher environments. Unit testing will improve the developer confidence. Unit testing will improve the developer confidence. Unit testing we can do in two ways. What is the two ways, sir? Manual unit testing. Second one is automated unit testing. Guys, what is the advantage of unit testing? Identify method behavior in positive and negative scenario. Friends, if you want to observe any person, we will observe it. What is the positive him and what is the negative him, right? We try to see the different scenarios. Is a positive person or negative person? Bugs will be identified at development stage only. We can provide the bug-free quality code for higher environments. For the reason, this is a major advantage by unit testing. Okay. Uh, the one thing. how to unit testing we can perform in two-way approaches, guys. What are the two approaches, guys? Please can do two ways. Unit testing we can do in two ways. Unit testing we can do in two ways. What are the two ways, guys? Please.
Manual.
Right. So generally, అడగకూడదమ్మా నేను డివైడ్ చేసింది manual unit testing, next automated unit testing. So now, what debugging, sir? What is the manual unit testing? Debugging we can use to understand method behavior and find the bugs in the code. Debug. What is the use of the debugging, guys? We can use to understand. We can use to understand method and find bugs in code, right? We cannot do debugging for the same method on daily basis, right? It is it is time consuming process. We can't do debugging. So ma'am, can you perform a debugging every day? No, it's a time consuming process. To save our time, we can perform automated unit testing for our code. To automate the unit testing, we can use JUnit framework. Okay, then what is JUnit? Now, just now my friend is mentioned. JUnit is a open source. JUnit is a open source framework which is used to perform unit testing for Java projects. One more time. What is JUnit? JUnit is a open source. JUnit is an open source framework which is used to perform unit testing for Java projects. JUnit framework developed by Enrich Gamma. Right. What is JUnit? JUnit is an open source framework which is used to perform unit testing for Java project. What is JUnit? JUnit is an open source framework. JUnit is an open source framework which is used to perform unit testing for Java projects. And who is designed JUnit framework? Who is developed, guys, JUnit framework? Enrich Gamma. The current version of JUnit is 5.x. Good. To use JUnit, to use a JUnit in our project, we should download or add JUnit jars to build a path, or we need to configure the dependency. We need to configure the dependency. So shall we try to see the work, guys? Yes, why not? Even we have some annotation support, guys. What is annotations are there? JUnit is providing some annotation, guys. At the rate of before class, at the rate of after class, at the rate of before, at the rate of after, at the rate of test. Got it? At the rate of before class, at the rate of after class, at the rate of before, at the rate of after, at the rate of test. These are the predefined annotations. JUnit provides these annotations. Very good. What does it mean by JUnit assertion, guys? What do you mean by assertions? Assertions are used to compare expected and actual result. So I expected something, sir. I got something, sir. I expected 1 lakh, sir. I got 50,000, sir. Or you understand? I expected Hrithik Roshan, sir. I got Brahmanandam, sir. Like this. So expected and actual result. Is it clear? Assertions are used to compare expected and actual results and will decide test case is passed or failed. Got it? Assertions are used to compare expected and actual results and will decide test case is passed or failed. Now, so for this, we are having some of the methods. I'll send you guys, don't not record write it. We'll write the example. Asset equals actual expected. Asset same actual expected. Then asset not null object. Like this, we're having sir object. Like this, the predefined methods. So Shiva, can you try to start the designing the one application, Shiva? Then we can understand why not.